Oh yeah. 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 Warning, this video contains tricks of an extremely physical nature. They should only be performed by those in excellent physical condition and with moderate athletic coordination. Persons in poor physical health should consult a physician before attempting any of these tricks. This pole trick video is for entertainment purposes only. If the viewer of this video attempts to perform any trick contained in this video, they do so at their own risk. The producers of this video cannot be held responsible for any injuries or damage that may result from performing any of these acts contained in this video.
Hello, my name is Bad Kitty, and I've been a fan of pole dancing for a few years now. I've been a pole dancer myself for about 3. On this video, you will have a chance to learn a few basic pole tricks and a few advanced ones for those of you that are quick learners. Feel free to pause the video at any time to really work on that pole trick that you have in mind. Tips for working on the pole. Before we get started, I'd like to give you a few tips that might make it easier for you to grip the pole. 1. No oils or lotions, it causes you to slip and you may harm yourself. 2. The less clothes the better, a bikini is preferred. 3. Clean the pole often with a rag, rubbing alcohol also helps for gripping the pole. Stretches. It's always good to stretch your muscles for at least 5 minutes before attempting to try these pole tricks. I'll do a few with you and then we will move on to basic poses on the pole. Sit with your legs straight in front of you and point your toes. Grab the bottom of your feet and hold this pose for 10 seconds. Do this 3 times. Now spread your legs and point your toes. Grab the bottom of your first foot and hold for 5 seconds. Now grab the bottom of your second foot and hold for 5 seconds. Now grab the bottoms of your feet and stretch towards the middle and hold for 5 seconds. Do this 3 times. Now lay on your back and point your toes and grab your calf, bringing your leg upward. Hold this for 5 seconds. Now do the same for the second leg, holding for 5 seconds. Do this 3 times. Stand up and touch your toes, holding for 10 seconds. Do this 3 times. Now bring your arm up and place your hand on your back, grabbing your elbow, stretching for 5 seconds. Now do the same for the second arm, holding for 5 seconds. Do this 3 times. Now fold your arms across, grabbing your elbow and stretching, holding the position for 5 seconds. Now do the second arm, holding for 5 seconds. Do this 3 times. Poses. Now we will start with a few simple poses on the pole. When we are finished, we will start on our spins. Pose 1. Put your back against the pole, arching your back and bending your knee. Pose 2. Facing the pole, bring your leg upward, bending your knee, holding the pole with your hand, and you may lean back a little. Pose 3. Stand with the pole on side of you, extending the leg closest to the pole. Hook your knee onto the pole. This allows you to bend downward. Pose 4. Place your back against the pole, leaving your legs closed. Gently let yourself slide downward and then slide upward. Spins. Now it's time to work on our spins. After we have learned a few basic spins, I will show you a few advanced ones. Remember to take your time, and when we are finished, we will move on to climbing onto the pole. The fireman. Place your strongest hand at the top of the pole. Place your second hand at waist level. Pull your legs towards the pole, bending your knee. Your other leg will go around the other side of the pole. It will look something like this. Remember your hand placements. Push off with your foot to make you spin longer. The spin wheel. Start by placing your strongest hand at the top of the pole and your second hand at waist level. Begin by pushing off with the leg closest to the pole, extending your other leg. Hook one leg around the pole while placing your other leg around the pole like this. If you have trouble, try positioning yourself on the pole like this. It should look something like this. The backswing. Start by hooking your leg around the pole. Pay attention to where my hands are. Pull yourself onto the pole, lifting your other leg in the same position. When you do this spin, you will be putting your body weight backwards. We will do it again. The sitting spin. Start by placing your hands in these positions. We will start by pushing off the foot closest to the pole. Pull your other leg up towards you. You will be in a sitting position. Remember your hand placements.
Hit it.
Advanced sitting spin. Start the spin the same as you would a sitting spin. After you go into the spin, let go with one hand when you know you have a good grip on the pole. Remember to push off and to let go with your hand. The standing spin. Start by placing your hands in the same position. Push off with the foot closest to the pole. Lift your feet off of the ground and pull yourself into a standing position. Place your hands and pull yourself up. The L spin. Start by placing yourself in the same position as the standing spin. This time, pull your legs straight ahead of you. You will look like an L. The split spin. Start by placing your strongest hand on the top of the pole and your second hand at waist level. Pull yourself onto the pole and to feel the position. Push off with your foot and pull yourself into this position. I'll do it again with you. The spin. Start to spin by placing the leg closest to the pole in front of you. Using your strongest hand, pivot around the pole. Watch as I do it slowly. You can do these 3 or 4 times in a row. You can use your hands as a brake. I will do it again. Remember to use your hand as a brake. The wild spin. This is an advanced spin. Start by placing your strongest hand at the top of the pole. Place your other hand behind you like this. It will help you grab the pole. Push off and swing your legs outward. Remember your hand and feet positions. Climbing onto the pole. Now we will start on different ways to climb up the pole. Remember, turning yourself upside down on the pole is dangerous. Always have a spotter. When we are finished, we will go onto poses while on the pole. Step climb. Start by facing the pole, placing your strongest hand on the top of the pole. Next, place your legs against the pole. Pull yourself onto the pole, wrapping your legs around the pole. Just release your legs and you will slowly slide downward. We will do this again. Backwards climb. Start by placing your back against the pole. Now place both hands on the floor ahead of you. Place one leg on the pole and pull the other behind it. Now wrap your legs around the pole. Slowly let yourself slide downward. We will do this again. Side step climb. Start this climb by placing your foot on the pole like this. Place your strongest hand shoulder level and the second hand waist level. Pushing your weight on your bottom foot, pull your other foot up and place it on the top of the pole. You may hold yourself for 5 seconds. We will do it again. Pay attention to my feet and hand positions. Poses while on the pole. Now it's time to learn a few poses while on the pole. After we learn these, we will move on to inverting onto the pole. The angel pose. Start by climbing onto the pole the same as a step climb. Once you feel comfortable on the pole, lean back extending your leg. Hold for 5 seconds. You will slowly slide downward. The frozen spin wheel. Go into the spin wheel and hold for 5 seconds. We will do it again. The V pose. Start the V pose by placing the strongest hand on the top and the other arm behind you like this. Lean back slightly and extend your legs into a V position. Hold this pose for 5 seconds. We will do this again. The sitting pose. Start this pose by going into a step climb. Cross one leg on top of the other, squeezing with your legs. Hold for 5 seconds. Slowly let yourself downward. The gliding pose. Start this pose by hooking your knee on the pole and position your hands strongest on top. Bring your other leg up and against the pole. Let go with your hand and hold the pose, letting yourself glide downward. We will do this again. Inverting on the pole. Inverting on the pole is very dangerous. Always have a spotter when attempting to do these tricks. Remember not to push yourself. Doing so may cause injury, even death. After we are done, we will move on into advanced pole work. Front flip invert. We will be placing the leg furthest from the pole on the top of the pole. Have your spotter ready and go into the invert. Place your hands in front of you and slowly let yourself slide downward. We will do this again. The upside down invert. Start this invert by facing the pole, bending downward, placing your hand behind you like this. Have your spotter ready and pull your body weight towards the pole, lifting both feet off of the ground. Slowly let yourself slide downward. We will do this again. When you are ready, you can attempt this invert without your spotter. Remember your hand and feet positions. The shoulder invert. Start this invert while crouching. Place your hands behind you like this. Have your spotter ready. Kick your leg upward, hooking your leg closest to the pole, pulling your other leg onto the pole. Place your hands in front of you and slowly let yourself slide downward. We will do this again. Remember, when you are ready, you can do these without your spotter. Remember your hand and feet positions. Advanced pole work. Now that you have worked on your pole work, it's time for some advanced pole work using the combinations we have just learned. Remember to keep trying and don't give up. Upside down climb. Start this move by going into a front flip invert. Place one hand on the ground, placing your other hand on the pole. Squeezing your knees, pull your body weight upward. Let yourself slide downward and do this again. We will do this again. The Superman. Start this move by going into a front flip invert, letting yourself slide downward. Extend your legs, squeezing them together. You may bend one knee. Grab the pole and extend your other hand. Gently let yourself down. We will do this again. The V-spin. Start to spin by placing your strongest hand on top. Pull your hips towards the pole, placing your legs in a V position. Remember, when going to the spin, kick your leg up and it will allow you to spin. We will do this again. The frozen upside down invert. Start this move by going into an upside down invert. Hold your feet away from the pole, legs straight together and hold. We will do this again. Gently let yourself down. The backwards bow. Start this move by going into an upside down invert. Hook one leg and extend the other, arching your back. Gently let yourself down. We will do this again. The flag. Go into this move by going into a step climb. Climb to the top of the pole and place your hands strongest on bottom and holding yourself away from the pole. Hold this pose and gently let yourself down. We will do this again. The fallen angel. Go into the move by going into a sitting pose. To get a feel for the pose, you can place your hand under you while going down. You may let go with your hands, pull yourself up. We will do this again, this time without the hand guide. Thank you for purchasing this video. Be sure to be on the lookout for Volume 2 coming out soon. Now I'll show you a combination of all the moves we have just learned in a dance routine. boobs look good? You ready? Kill that bug so it don't get in the picture. The things if people knew we were doing this, huh? Poor bug. Inverting on the pole is very dangerous. Always have a spotter when attempting to do these tricks. Remember not to push yourself. Doing so may cause injury, even death. After